Well, thank you, Bursin, and thank you, EBRD, for a wonderful day today. Very briefly, my name is Alexander Richter. I'm the founder of a geothermal news publication called Energy that some of you might know. For those of you that don't speak English, we're going to announce very soon a Turkish version of the website called Jeotermal Haberler, so that will be published hopefully soon. And I'm a board member of the International Geothermal Association, and in that capacity I've followed naturally a lot of what's going on worldwide, and to say the least, we in the international geothermal community are deeply impressed with the development in Turkey, and I think in that context I want to summarize the day a little bit. It was with the keynote speeches, which were naturally very, very interesting in the sense of the commitment of EBRD and the commitment by the European Union in supporting renewable energy development in Turkey, and in particular geothermal. I think this was very interesting, and I think something that a lot of other countries would love to see as well, that support of one development bank that can support a sector like EBRD has done in Turkey is quite remarkable. And I think what came out in this presentation, in the keynote session, really was that the opportunities seen in the geothermal development for Turkey, and I think that is really, really interesting. And with regards to the EBRD, I mean, today EBRD has financed around 40% of the installed capacity in Turkey, which is remarkable to say the least. But I was really deeply impressed by the presentation by the mayor here of Izmir, who clearly kind of has an understanding of the potential for geothermal for his community or municipality. It probably would be too small to say, but for the region here around Izmir. And we've basically kind of see ourselves here in the geothermal heart of Turkey, and seeing Izmir as, well, let's maybe call it the capital of geothermal in Turkey. And to see that understanding of geothermal, but also seeing the challenges of geothermal. With regards to emissions, with regards to local opposition, and so on, and the understanding that we all need to kind of take those concerns seriously and make sure that geothermal fits in the communities that we're going to build the plants in. In the session on geothermal potential, we naturally heard a lot about the geothermal potential in Turkey and the approach of moving or adding additional development in other parts of Turkey, which was mentioned. And I think one of the other elements that was mentioned, particularly by my friend Tevfik Kaya from Schlumberger, the incredibly low prices for drilling in Turkey that I think some of our international peers actually would love to see in their project areas. So there are many elements that play into the development in Turkey, and I think that was described very well by Tevfik in this context. Jill from Geologica gave an interesting side with regards to the experience of developing but also running power plants in the sense of managing the resource. And I think that was a very, very interesting and timely presentation in Turkey. Also something that was mentioned in the later presentation with regards to management of license areas that are too close to each other with regards to the resource. And I think in that sense, that's a part that is something the industry here really has to think about. The licensing part, which was then part of the next session, also I think is very, very interesting to see, is the comprehensive legal framework that has been set up in Turkey, with the renewable energy law, with the feed-in tariffs, but also with a clear licensing structure that kind of has a licensing in place for the exploration side, but then also through the utilization. And I think in that context, it's very, very interesting to kind of get that a summary. From the association of the operators, yes, there was naturally very, very interesting to see the bullish view on the geothermal sector of the industry, and talking about 800 megawatts in the, I think by 2017. I mean, that was interesting to see, and I don't doubt that this will happen. It's just incredible to see how fast things can happen in Turkey. And the other element that I particularly liked of that presentation was the understanding that lower heat resources in Turkey are still a very much untapped potential. And I think it will be very interesting to see how that is evolving. We then got some really good, interesting feedback from Gürüş with regards to really developing a project, also from a developer, but also a construction perspective. And fortunately, I made myself a little bit more notes on the banking side, given that I used to be an investment banker. These things kind of resonate with me. But what I was really impressed with that presentation was the understanding of not only financing the actual project, but also understanding all the elements of risk, not only the development of the project, but also in running the project in the longer period of time. But also understanding the role a project plays within a community, and that impact, that social and this environmental impact a plant can have, and kind of making this part of an approach of looking how to finance a geothermal project. I think you don't see this much with banks, so I was really, really impressed on that. And the other element that he was also mentioning was really that understanding that energy projects, renewable energy projects, are a key focus for the Turkish banks, and I think partly that is also supported by EBRD. So I think that's very, very interesting to see. With Adonai, we've known each other now for some time, and it's not the first presentation I heard, so it was very good to kind of hear a little bit more on Pluto, and then hopefully then tomorrow as well. And really understanding the commitment of EBRD in Turkey with regards to geothermal development and supporting the development. I think that's quite remarkable, and I seriously hope that this will continue even more so with the Pluto program. I think we're all kind of looking forward to get out of this room, so I won't keep you much longer. The IGC Turkey conference that we're organizing and holding together with EBRD tomorrow will go a lot deeper in some of the technical aspects of the development and operation of plants. So I hope to see many of you there. There are a lot of topics probably that will go deeper on elements we've been discussing today. You can still register. There's a booth over there, but you could register tomorrow. It will start at registration will start at 8:30, and the event will start at 9 o'clock. That's it from me. Again, I'm really proud to be here in Turkey, and congratulate the industry for the huge development and the speed of development that you've shown the global industry how it can be done. Thank you.